have breaking updates coming in. Viewers. Right now, the government responds to the Republic report. We're getting back-to-back updates. Big Republic impact in the Air India case. The government says action by Air India is not enough. And adding that for fact-finding, DGCA sought the details of the incident from Air India on the basis of the reply of the airline. Prima facie, it emerges the provisions related to handling of unruly passengers on board have not been complied with. The conduct of the concerned airline appears to be unprofessional and has led to a systematic failure. Prima facie, it lacks appreciation of regulatory obligations as described in the applicable aircraft rules of 1937. Now, this is the reply coming in right now. So, right now, viewers, we can say that the action taken by Air India is not enough. Remember, viewers, that 30 days was the time when the passenger was banned from flying. Just 30 days. Let's go to Harsha. Harsha, just take us through exactly what we are learning so far. A couple of things being said by the Civil Aviation Ministry and the government, which is cracking the whip essentially on Air India.
Exactly, Shivangi, we have got to know that now the Civil Aviation Ministry has taken the cognizance of this entire matter after Republic is back-to-back breaking the serious updates and breaking this entire incident. Now, Jyotirada Scindia, we have already seen him very active on all this incident. So now the Aviation Ministry have taken the cognizance of this entire matter, and they have clearly stated that there are some provisions which have to be dealt with the unruly passenger like this, but the provisions were not compiled with. They didn't handle the system. There is a systematic failure, and this is the unprofessional attitude of the airlines. This is the lack of the rules, the aircraft rules of 1937, and there are some aircraft safety rules, the internal safety rules, operations rules, the emergency rules, which has to be compiled with, but none of it was followed by the airlines. Now the Aviation Ministry is soon going to ask a report from the airlines, Air India. What we have got to know that now DGCA has already asked a fact-finding report on this entire matter. Now the Aviation Ministry has asked from the Air India, the airlines, the unprofessional attitude of the crew members, the pilot and the staff which were on the airlines on board when they were taking the passengers from JFK to New Delhi. Now they have said there's a systematic failure, there's an unprofessional attitude, and sooner a report from the airlines will be sought by the Aviation Ministry, which has to be submitted by the Air India sooner, because this is something which is very serious and couldn't be let go of. The accused couldn't be let go of very easily. Though we are getting to know that while at the landing time, the accused was again and again being sorry profusely. He was apologizing to the fellow female passenger, but this is not enough because airlines didn't compile with their duty, the duty which they were supposed to, because there's an on-board incident. There are certain provisions which the airlines has to follow, but they didn't follow it. Therefore, now we are getting to know that Civil Aviation Ministry has come up with this entire thing, that they will take an action against the airlines on board in which this entire incident of the unruly passenger urinating on a female passenger has come in light. Shivangi, back to you.
Alisha, I just want to go to Alisha right now. Thank you, Harsha. Alisha also has some details for us right now. Alisha, please tell our viewers what details you have.
Republic TV campaign, where Ministry of Civil Aviation has released a press note, and here is the press note from MOCA, where the incident on Air India flight AI 102 from New York to New Delhi, dated on 26th 2020, where it came to a notice of DGCA on 4th January 2023, wherein a male passenger conducted himself in a disorderly manner and relieved himself on a female passenger. For fact-finding, DGCA sought the details of the incident from Air India on the basis of reply of the airline. Prima facie, it emerged that the provisions related to handling of an unruly passengers on board have not been complied with. The conduct of the concerned airline appears to be unprofessional and has led to a systematic failure. Prima facie, its lack appreciation of regulatory obligations as described in applicable aircraft rules in 1937, civil aviation requirements on handling on unruly passenger cabin, safety circular, Air India operations manual, Air India Safety and Emergency Procedure Manual and Air India Quick Reference Handbooks and is devoid of empathy. In the view of this, DGCA has issued show cause notice to accountable manager of Air India, Director in Flight Service of Air India, all the pilots and cabin crew members of that flight as to why enforcement action should not be taken against them for dereplication of their regulatory obligations. However, to meet the end of justice, they have been given 2 weeks' time to submit their reply to DGCA, and based on that, further action will be taken. So this is a letter, a reply on the campaign that has been continuously going. This is the Republic major impact where now Ministry of Civil Aviation has sent a notice to all the cabin crew, pilot and all the people who were present specifically on that board on the flight AI-102 flight where the misconduct of a passenger, where we saw that Shekhar Mishra, a 70-year, where he urinated on a 70-year woman who was a co-passenger. And looking into the incident, and this incident which has came to a light where the Delhi police has already registered an FIR, but now Ministry of Civil Aviation has also taken into the consideration, and all have been asked to send a reply on the same.